Of course, Bhagavad Gita, but what chapter, what shloka? Seventh, we have to start. Oh, we finished? Between these many sessions, it's okay. Are you sure seventh finished? Plus or minus one or two here and there. Does anybody remember? Hmm. We didn't touch seventh, right? Right. Because seventh is a very important shloka. Okay. Hari Om, can you just slightly that side? Now I can see you. It's right at that spot wherein she's covered behind the bars. I don't know if I see her behind bars or she's seeing me behind bars. Okay. The seventh shloka of fifth chapter. Please repeat after me. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma चाय कुछ ला दूं? Little more effort, please. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyah sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. When in the sixth shloka it is said, Yoga yukto munir brahma nachirenadhi gacchati. They reach to the state of equipoise within as if it was a piece of cake, meaning with ease, they transcend. But in order to reach to that, how do they reach there? Wherein kurvan napina lipyate. Though they are performing actions, the repercussions of it, the impact of it, or the residual effect of it is not there for such individuals. Now, what do I mean by residual influence? Do you all get angry? Okay, good. Everybody is like pensively like, should we not commit to this? How often do you get angry? Every day. Oh, good, good, good. Is that a common answer? Okay. Touch wood. In my 15 years of staying in Dallas, I can recollect only once that I got angry. Do you know how many families I have to be responsible for? Oh, मैं मानता हूं. Therefore, I keep telling that there are only two kinds of people in this world: those who are happy and those who are married. Narayana. Narayana. So you get very often angry, almost every day. Sometimes the anger is so powerful, the raw energy of it is so powerful that that particular environment, that particular individual, that particular incident is long done. It happened, say, in the morning or sometimes, but then you carry that inside, that simmering irritation. You're no more there in front of such people, such environment. You're already moved out. But then, whichever environment that you go to, you are still that irritable nature, that still burning embers inside. These days, kids, I don't know what to do with them. And as soon as you go to the office, there are your colleagues, and I think this is the opening statement that you make. And they definitely, what happened? Early morning, back in India, early morning, एक तो पान मार के और हम काम करते हैं. यहाँ पे गॉसिप से चल जाता है. With gossip, what happened? I tell you, I have gotten disgusted with this. That environment is gone. You've come to a new environment. We carry that impact, that residual influence of that experience into the next experience. And this is just one sample, one example of one emotion. There's so many aspects of it that keeps tumbling over from one experience to the other to the other. As a shortcut, people say, start your day with a good positive note. I would still consider that as a very short-term, short vision kind of a solution. Why? The expectation is, at least when you have started it off with a positive note, there is something to look forward for. If the morning itself is toppled, what happens to the rest of the day? When we were in school and college, there would be the first lecture of the day, first session of the day. And if that teacher or lecturer would come into the class in a very irritable condition, we sitting in the back bench would comment, definitely he must have fought with his wife early in the morning. It doesn't take much to comment. Anger is one example that is very loud and you can see it. Supposing you have seen something that which you want to buy, whether it is a house or for the house, whether it is a car, whether it is a jewel or a cloth, I don't know what triggers whom. Whether you are sitting, walking, and it seems like the entire cosmos is conspiring against you. You see more of that ad. You see more of those billboards. You see more of those people that, so somebody who just bought a new car, this is one of the first time that that individual is buying a new car. Up until now, they were buying only the second hands and third hands. He was very excited. So, my car is unique. I'm going to. So he brought it. And he brought it straight from the showroom to here to get it blessed. It must not have been more than, 15 minutes? south of Plano, north of Dallas, in the border, just after crossing George Bush. Somewhere there, he purchased it. And as soon as he came, he said, I don't know, Swamiji, I thought this was unique. Just in this drive, I saw about 8 cars of the same model. So you see billboards, you see everybody talk about it, you see more of that kind. It almost feels justified that this is the right kind of desire that has to be fulfilled. And in order to fulfill it, we put all kinds of efforts. To achieve that which I desire. Until I achieve it, is there any peace within? Whether you are at home, whether you are at office, whether you're at a playground, whether you are in a movie theater, that button for that particular thing is not turned off. It's constantly like a migraine throbbing inside. They say migraine is a very painful thing to go through. This is nothing less than that. Constantly there is that desire keeps hitting. So intense that it impacts the rest of life. Whether it is emotions, whether it is desires, whether it is convictions. The residual aspect of it, the impact of it is left over. But when we get frustrated, what do? Instead of getting rid of the residual impact, we get rid of the act itself. In Hindi, there is a saying, na rahegi baas, na bajegi basuri. If there is a cause, there can be an effect. I'll throw away the cause. And what is the cause that we wrongfully conclude? We conclude that the act itself is wrong. That's a pretty loud vibrator. Not that I was distracted. Have you seen these long tennis rally matches? So suddenly there is a phone vibrating and this whole segment, I'm not kidding. I feel very neglected, even for that brief moment. Okay, getting back. Kurvan napina lipyate. We cannot abandon action, but we can create a non-stick environment. You have those utensils wherein what's that coating called? Teflon. So the Teflon coated utensils, that nothing sticks to it. So to create such an environment wherein I go through the act, but it does not leave any residual effect on me, which enables or which corrupts my other actions, other interactions which I keep performing. The ability to clean after every experience. How many of you have seen Harry Potter? All 7? Wow. Oh, adu irka. How many times? Oh, you lost count. I don't know in which one. So you've seen that many times, so you should be able to tell which scene, which episode it was in. There is this tank in Dumbledore's office, a sink kind of a thing, wherein he uses his magic wand, pulls out that thought and then drains it out. What is it called? Pensieve. Okay. Which, like, was it in the fifth one or the sixth one? I thought it was only on one. Okay. So you all got the scene, right? We should be able to do that with our thought. That the moment that act, that involvement is done, I can pull that out and get rid of it. Carrying it forward is like eating bananas, eating bananas, and then putting the banana peel in your back pocket. Imagine, just please go with the flow. Did you imagine? Ek nahi, not one, two. It's a family package deal. Keep inserting it. It's a very yucky. That is how here up in here is. So how do we clear that out? Is there a method to clear that out? If there is that method, how applicable is it? So that is said in this shloka. Therefore, when I was eagerly looking forward for that seventh shloka, and you said, I am done. I said, seriously? I don't know. I must have walked through it. So there are 5 words given, 5 steps given to create that kind of a accessible mind, wherein I go through the action, but the action does not leave any repercussions or residual impact inside. And if this is possible, how much percentage of your day-to-day stress is taken care of? Most of it? 90-95%? Because completely stress-free is not healthy. See, the tire should have some stress, some pressure in there. You can say, I don't know, I am a lot of pressure. Some optimal amount is healthy. So similarly, stress an optimal level is good. But this residual thing which keeps like a domino effect corrupting one to the other, that has to be snipped. So the 5 steps given. The first step. Yoga yuktaha. What is the word yoga mean? It is not just I'm not ridiculing yoga. What you have coined as yoga, that is asana. Yoga means reuniting. Essentially, I am of the nature of divine. Seems like I have forgotten. I have to reconnect. Even today, when you go to India, some places, the internet connection, and I tell you, living in this country, it kind of spoils your mindset. You go there and there is an important document that you have to download, and you have pressed download and like, chai, pakoda, samosa. It's still downloading. And the network is, at least it is way better than the dial-up. Kich, 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 kich. Remember those days? 10, 12 years ago? And there was one particular time frame wherein here there was a DSL. And back in India it was still kich, 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 the dial-up. And you go there and you are like, it's not even download. It is to load the page. Your email has to load. It's like the rest of हरि ओम urgent, please respond. उसके बाद खुलता ही नहीं. It doesn't load. I'm talking of those days when I was not carrying the laptops or anything. I had to go to a internet cafe, and they're like, and they charge by time. बैठे रहो. There was a phase wherein I had to leave this country to get a counselor process for my green card, and those 9 months, I tell you, tapas. I had an account open in an internet cafe, and the adjacent shop had tea. So I had an account opened there as well. Oh, tu dete rahe bhai. You keep supplying me. I'll be there almost all day here. Because within those 7, 8 months of my stay, the laws were changed for my type of visa to be applied for a green card 7 times. And every time there is a slight change, they want the entire 600-page document to be reprinted. So sit there and wait for it to download. At least the first time, before, it was a pain. So the dial-up, DSL, then there is, what do you have now at homes? Fiber optic. Fiber optic. Then you go to the college. Have you ever gone to the colleges and seen the speed there? I was, teaching in one of the colleges, and I wanted to download a song to put in the backdrop as a for the PowerPoint. And I went with the mindset like here, whatever we have. I clicked download. It was about 50 MB or something. I clicked download, turned around and looked back. It was already done. And that is when I realized, started investigating into what is the speed there. They have T1, T3. They have some. It's really fast. Now, why am I talking about all this? That reconnection depends on how regularly, how intensely I'm trying to reconnect. If it is like a dial-up, you turn it on whenever it clicks. These are the mindsets of those who say, our age is done. We bring our children, drop them here. Our time is gone. We will not change. They are those dial-up that they're not even sure if the page will load up. So to them I say BLNL. Better luck, next life. And nothing about arrogance here. It is just a fact. If you don't open it up, if you don't keep it charged into that direction, consistency is not maintained. It's not going to open. It's not going to reveal. That reconnection is not going to happen. Yoga means to reconnect. And it would be wrong to interpret that yoga means either jnana or either karma or either bhakti. It has to be a package which includes all three of them. And a balance in understanding which of them is predominant, start from there, but including the rest too as well. Otherwise, there are people like, all this philosophy, I can't handle it. Give me some seva, I'll do seva and done. You come ask me, do regularly clean the temple floor, I'll come and do that. Don't ask me to come sit in lectures and other things. I cannot handle that. I mean, I have to develop a thick skin when they are saying it to me directly. तुम्हारे lecture boring होते हैं. I'll go sit and do some seva there. I'm not making these things up. So they say that my life, I don't need any jnana, any bhakti, just seva is fine. Then there are those who will say that, all that which is required is just do the, that little puja, japa, light a lamp or light a agarbatti, sit there, do your Nam Sankirtan or whatever for that 5-10 minutes and you are good. The rest of the day, your checklist is done for the day. And there are those who are into the heights of arrogance because they are intellectual, into the jnana, better than the rest of them. No, it cannot be that way. It has to have a balance on all three levels. Karma is focusing at a physical level. Bhakti is focusing at an emotional level. And jnana is focusing at an intellectual level. There are three different kinds. Just doing one will not suffice, will not cut it. All three of them have to be included. See, after you eat an Indian meal, do you wash your hands? Don't give me such a doubtful. Yes? Okay, good. Do you rinse your mouth afterwards? If somebody were to say that just rinse your mouth, don't need to wash your hands. This equipment is different, that equipment is different, and both of them have to be maintained in their own way. Does it make sense? Similarly, at a physical level, karma yoga has to be done. At an emotional level, the bhakti yoga has to be fulfilled. And at an intellectual level, jnana has to be applied. One of them will have a predominance. But that does not mean to say that the rest of them are excluded. Yoga yuktaha. Yuktaha, yoked to the yoga. That whenever I am interacting at a physical level or at an emotional level or at an intellectual level, it is tied in to the process of reuniting myself to that Supreme. And if there is a process that is not helping me reunite with that Supreme, to have that clarity and the dispassion born out of that clarity, that entire process can be chucked away. You may be doing it for years and years, but if it is not taking you to connect with that higher within. Supposing you have taken a road trip, you have thought of taking a road trip from here to New York. Has anybody done such? Arre, do, teen. What highway do you take? So as you are going on that highway, somewhere it will keep saying, after you cross few city limits, it will say New York. Like, if you keep going on this highway, New York is, these many hundreds of miles. But as you are going in your path that you thinking that it is taking you towards New York, and it says Mexico 5 miles. As an intelligent being behind the wheel, what should be your immediate action? Pile stop. U-turn, check your GPS, all that later. First stop. Something gadbad. Right? Maybe GPS is not working. Maybe whatever it is, you have to first stop proceeding further, isn't it? Don't you do it immediately? Yes, no. Yes. Isn't it intelligent process? But in the path of spirituality, knowing that this path is not going to take me to the core of my own being, these are non-essentials of life. They mean nothing. But still, conditioned from the outside, knowing very well, understanding very well that it is non-essential, we seem to draw a lot of pleasure in the non-essential. Like many parents, very concerned parents, high school parents, they come and say, Swamiji, peer pressure is killing them. I tell you, peer pressure, that which you see in the kids, is just but a reflection of what the adults are inflicting it upon themselves. Yes or no? Don't we have the same mindset? Are we not the same kind of pressured into brand consciousness? What we wear, what we carry, what we drive, what kind of house, there's nothing wrong in having them. But trying to have them because the rest of them in the group have it, because I have to make a certain statement, that is wrong. To have it, relish it, enjoy it, there is nothing wrong. It is not poisonous. When does that experience become poisonous? When I'm trying to make a statement. I'm not like them, I'm different. Achha. These are my observations and imitations only. To have the finesse in having something which is absolutely beautiful, marvelous, and to cherish it, there's nothing wrong in it. Because you are actually appreciating in one way or the other the Satya Shiva Sundara aspect of that Paramatma only. There's nothing wrong in it. But then when we start doing it, because that friend group has this, therefore I should have it also. I don't know what to say to these parents. I mean, multiple cases. Two children, one is in 9th grade, the other is in 11th grade. And then they move to a house which is, this is not a convenient house. Why? It is only 4,000 square feet. And then move. Having moved there, within how many years the kids are going to leave? One is leaving in 1 year, the other is leaving in 2 years to 3 years. And after that, भूत प्रेत की तरह लटकते रहो, एक उस कोने में, एक इस कोने में. In a 5,000 square foot house, one fellow is, and they don't even cross their paths. Text messaging, husband text messaging, what is there for dinner? I am not making this up. Honey, I'll be late. To come from the upstairs down, I'll be late. You carry on. If I may, I'll join. What are the essentials of life? What are the non-essentials of life? And to have the courage to shoot down all the non-essentials. Bakwas band. It requires a lot of stamina from inside to do that. To completely uproot the non-essentials. And to stay focused with the essentials. That which sure shot takes me to the core of my own being. To have that kind of focal point at all levels of my interaction, whether it is at a body level, at an emotional level, or at an intellectual level. To keep that consistent focal point is called Yoga Yuktaha. The next step. Vishuddhatma. What does Atma mean? That is the generic translation. But these words have to be very carefully understood as to where they are being referred in. We cannot directly jump into conclude with the generic meaning. Like if you are with a teenager or a college student, and when they fist bump you and say, Swamiji, you are bad. First time I was like, are you okay? Oh, sure I am. Swamiji, bad means you're actually good. So they tell me that, na. And I give a quick repartee or something, you are wicked. I see that, you are wicked. Huh? The reference point, right? Who is saying it? And the best is my all-time favorite. An African American, what do you call those? Football player in SMU looks at me, this is 15 years ago, looks at me and says, what's up, dog? I'm like, I don't have the courage to respond, yeah, but Teri, you call me dog? I don't have that courage looking at. I am a 6-footer, but when I look at him, I have to look at him like this. I don't have any courage. I said, okay, I'll leave. I came back, asked one of the students, he was cursing me with this word, the dog. He was calling, Swamiji, it is not DOG, DAWG. Who will call a friend a dog? That is the vocabulary. So you have to understand the reference, where it is being referred, who is saying it, what is the context, to get the right meaning. Similarly, here, Atma does not mean soul. Somewhere there, but here Atma means the internal equipment, Antahkarana. When this creation was being created, the scriptures say, God created man with the internal equipment, with the most sattvic aspect of the material that he could find. Purest of the pure. Mind, intellect, memory, the material that has gone into the construction of these internal equipments was purest of the pure material. So we don't have any right to say, why did God create such bad people? No, the scriptures say he has created us pure. But where is this kind of atrocities and badness, and where is it coming from? पढ़ लोगे? बताओ विच स्क्रिप्चर? ओके, मैं बोल दूंगा, पढ़ लोगे क्या? नेक्स्ट वीक पढ़ के आके बताओगे? Sometimes I don't refer to the scriptures just because of the cumbersome of seriousness that it adds in. So it comes in Tattva Bodha, it comes in Atma Bodha, it comes in Mundakopanishad, it comes in Kathopanishad, it comes in Kenopanishad, it comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, it comes in Taittiriya Upanishad in 3 different standpoints. And if you want Tattva Bodha, the recorded audio is there on our website. सुन लीजिएगा. Now, I'm not cornering you, just letting you know. So, Tattva Bodha is a very simple way to understand it. Sattvic amshat, made from the Sattvic amsha, Antahkaranayadi Vrittayah. The Antahkarana was made by, or is made by the most sattvic, purest of the pure material. But then in that purest of the pure material, why is there so much of disturbance? See, the material may be pure. The bag may be of a very sophisticated nature. But what you carry in that bag, that makes the difference, isn't it? If I randomly, I will not, don't get scared. If I randomly pick somebody's purse and somebody's wallet, can I? Should I? The wallets are this thick. Not that it has that much of cash. Tell me, how much percentage of that wallet can be discarded? Don't show. About 90% can be discarded. How much of the purses that you carry, whatever you carry in there, how much of it can be discarded? Which you keep postponing, that, this weekend I'm going to clean it up, then next weekend I'm going to clean it up. It keeps piling on. How much of it can be discarded? Give me some percentage. I don't carry one, so please. 2%. Oh, okay. The big purse, and then there is a small purse. Okay, how much percentage of the big purse is discardable? How much of the small purse is discardable? 90%. Arre baapre. And to add onto the top of it, if you have kids going to elementary and middle school, you will have their pencils, erasers, sharpeners, scissors, rubber band, chocolate, candy, bubble gum, chewing gum, sanitizers, paper napkins. Oh, that is for defense. He's totally gone in a different level. That it is for self-defense. Add all of that. And with that purse, you come to Saket. Today is supposed to be Shivratri. So you go to the temple, and there somebody says, wait, 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 and gives you a Panchamrit, Charnamrit, a small lid closed. And gives you a banana and gives you some prasad, the two paper, what do you call, paper plates, inverted, and inside there is, and you put everything in one. As you are, suddenly there is a phone call, and it's a very important call. You rush out, and you find that it, you're being the project manager, and there is this client where the product was released the previous day, and they're shouting on the top of it, hey, everything is going haywire. And when the children have to be picked, and this fellow is screaming, and there are other things that are scheduled, and in between, you call up your team and said, guys, I'll get back in touch with you in next half hour. Be prepared, be ready, we have to sort this out. So you pull the kids out, and then they are hungry. When are they not? So they are hungry, so you take them to the nearest joint, wherever it is, get them food, put it on the table, you open up your laptop and phone and every possible screen of different size, and you start working at it. And the next day you set up a few meetings with the client. You forgot totally about the purse and the panchamrit, the banana, and the prasad. Fortunately or unfortunately, that purse, that bag, was Prada. Gift somebody gave you on your anniversary. Is that the costly one? I don't know. Oh, what is the costly one? Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Versace. Bugatti, that's a car. She knows the name? Huh. Nobody remembers a good brand, costly one. All of these brands which are said. What is the minimum cost in that? Ew. $600 for something of this. It's a big purse. 5,000. So 5,000 purse, you have all this. You're already pre-existing trash plus this which you have added, prasad. And next day you go to the meeting and you still not, dive deep into your purse, the bag. And you go to the meeting, and it's supposed to be a brief meeting in a coffee shop, but it extended, and your purse was there outside. baking in Texan heat. You come back, open the door, and you are welcomed with a effervescence. What do you do with that bag? The Panchamrit has come all over the bag. The banana, it was banana. अब बनाने को कुछ नहीं रहा उसमें. It is all squished, mushed, leaking, sticky, gooey. You maybe have to take a warranty for that. You can send them? Say that again. Oh, you have to pay. Ah. You have to pay though. But you don't want to lose it. Even if that you want to lose, the inside equipment that is there, you cannot. You don't have that choice. The inside equipment, which is made of the purest material, the content that we are carrying in, that has to be re-evaluated. The priorities that we are entertaining, that has to be re-evaluated. What is important, that has to be re-evaluated. What is it that I allow myself to carry in there, has to be re-evaluated. There is nothing from the outside world that can get inside to disturb me without my permission. Yes? Can anything be inserted into your head? No, you entertain it. That is how it goes inside. So sort it out. And to bring that internal equipment to its chaste being state of existence. That is called Vishuddhatma. He has provided it with that purity, and to maintain it at that pure level is called Vishuddhatma. Now, how do we start that? Where is the starting step for it? The starting step for it is called in Sanskrit Trikarana Shuddhi. 3 instruments and they have to align themselves. What you think, what you say, and what you do. What you think, what you say, what you do, established in righteousness, in dharma. That has to be understood. Otherwise, I felt like thrashing him. I told him that I'll thrash him, and then I flexed few muscles. What I thought, what I said, what I did, they are aligned. Will it take me to Vishuddhatma? It will not take you to Vishuddhatma. Why? Because it is not established in dharma, in righteousness. Sometimes, to maintain the righteousness of the act, I have to change my mindset, not the action. The mindset has to be changed. And sometimes, it is not the mindset that has to be changed, but it is the act that has to be changed. I cannot go with a preconceived notion that this is how it is going to be. That flexibility as to what aspect of this equation has to change to maintain dharma, that has to be understood. Like for example, I have made the decision that I'll wake up in the morning and go for exercise. Is that conviction a good conviction or a bad conviction? Morning comes, morning goes, you're right where you are. Why? The actions that have to correspond accordingly are not changed. that has to align itself. So the actions have to change according to the sankalpa. Sometimes the act is fine, but the sankalpa keeps changing. You were inspired at that moment, you pulled out your checkbook and there was only one leaf. But you were very inspired, you wanted to give a certain amount. But because of the limitation of one leaf in your checkbook, you said, I will go home and immediately send. The act of the check being signed and sent is a noble. But by the time you get back home, what happens? Few zeros are missing. Few decimal points have increased. Does that happen or not? Yes, no. Possibility. So we have to understand which part of it, which part of the equation has to change to maintain dharma. That is a good starting point to maintain or to reach to that Vishuddhatma. Now there's one more thing that will help to reach to that state of Vishuddhatma. That is the next step which is said, which we will see next week. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.